Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. Now, I've been wanting to do this video for a little while, a few days, but unfortunately I haven't had time to watch the whole video online of what Diane Abbott said in that meeting. So I wanted to do the video after I'd read everything and watched everything that she had said. So apologies for it being a couple of days late. I mean, not everybody has always agreed with Diane Abbott and what she says and things that she's done in the past, but I think in this way, you know, the way that she's trying to deal with the disability payments and the benefit payments and also the winter fuel payment, I think is really admirable. I think that she's, you know, she's obviously very passionate about this situation, and I think that she feels as though, as someone who I would say is probably more traditional Labour, I think she feels that this is a bit of a letdown for her and her party and her values, and I would absolutely agree with that. I think that she gave a very good speech at this meeting, and I think that she has definitely got a lot of people on her side. Now, unfortunately, I don't think Keir Starmer is one of her fans, so you know, how much she's going to be able to influence other MPs is debatable. I mean, you know, I hope that she can really get into the mindset of the other MPs and try and convince them that, you know, this isn't just something that, it's not just a soundbite, you know, it's not just a passing phase. This is something that will definitely interfere with your re-election should you go ahead with it, and I think it will. She said so herself. You know, there's more council elections next year. The whole of London boroughs are going to be involved in that. Lots of other places, Wales, Scotland, are going to be involved in that. It's going to be a huge kick in the teeth for Labour if they go ahead with these plans, because people will remember. They won't forget what's going on here, and I think it's going to be a huge failure for Labour should they continue with these plans going into those next council elections. But I agree with everything that she said in that speech. For a start, she said that you know, there should be a wealth tax, and I think there should be some kind of wealth tax. How that would work, I guess that no, that would be open to interpretation. But I think that again, as she said, voters are realising that when they need money, they go to the poorest. You know, they go to the people who are earning the least. They go to people who are elderly. They go to the disabled. These are the people they take money from first. And I would say the reason why, I think a lot of time, is because they know that they can do it, and they know that people are, in the past, perhaps, you know, they've been very upset about it, but I think with the advent more of social media and things like this YouTube channel, you know, on YouTube now, people who have you know, have been on the wrong end of these cuts before can now come in and say, actually, this has happened before and it's wrong. And I think that that's a very good tool, I think, for a lot of disabled people, whereas before you might not have had a voice. I think there is absolutely a way now that people can have a voice and get people to do more to help us. I mean, on X, I've seen more and more Labour MPs coming out saying they're not going to vote for this new Green Paper. Now, again, whether they actually decide to do it or not, whether they vote against it or not, I don't know. But there are more of them doing it. And I think that Diane Abbott is one of the key influences on that. I think that she has been instrumental in getting more public eyes on this situation and getting in front of more people. And I think she was absolutely right when she was talking about things like, you know, it's helping people. You know, the personal independence payment is not doesn't matter whether you're working or not. You get it whether you're working or not. And as she said, lots of people who are working and receiving PIP will lose PIP and so won't be able to work. So, you know, they can't say that this is going to help people back into work, because it isn't. It's going to stop people working, if anything, because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to have to lose their jobs over this. And, you know, and also she said about employers. A lot of employers don't want to, you know, don't want to deal with disabled people, and that's just unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You know, they don't want to deal with the uncertainty, perhaps, of someone's attendance, or the additional needs they might need, or the additional equipment they might have to buy, especially with the assistance to work scheme absolutely crumbling. A lot of employers are going to be like, well, why should I? What's in it for me? Why is it worth it? And she also touched on the fact that this is actually going to cost, if it's done properly, would cost more money than it would save. And I think that's, again, that is absolutely true, because if you want to get disabled people into work, and first of all, you have to find the people who can work, who are disabled. Then you have to find out what they need to do that, what they need to go back to work. And thirdly, you have to give businesses an incentive to take them. And all of those things cost money. And, you know, they're already cutting money from the Access to Work scheme, which is one of the things that they would need in order to make this work. So I don't think this is ever has been about getting people back to work. I think it's always ever been about money. And I think Diane Abbott is absolutely right when that is the case. It's hopeful. It was a very powerful speech. I've seen it all over the internet, and I really, really hope that a lot of MPs are going to look at this and say, this is what we need to do. You know, we have to make a moral call here. You know, we have to think to ourselves, is it the right thing to do to cut thousands of pounds from millions of people? Is that right? I mean, the Keir Starmer said that they have a moral duty to cut benefits. Where's the moral duty in that? I don't see any moral duty in that. And I'm going to be doing another video today, probably, on another Freedom of Information request, which has highlighted the ages of the people it's going to affect the most. And it's very interesting when you look at the fact that they've always said this is about getting people back to work. It's about getting young people back into work. The Freedom of Information request would suggest, the way they've dealt with this would suggest otherwise. So that's going to be coming out later today. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe so you can catch that video. But yeah, I totally agree with what Diane Abbott said. I think it's fantastic that she was there to highlight this situation. I know there were a lot of people from disability groups, you know, online people that, you know, social media and other YouTubers were there. So that was fantastic as well to have those people there. It's one of those things where I really, really hope that she can get something across to these MPs, because I don't think she's going to sway Keir Starmer, but she might be able to get a lot more MPs to see the dangers of this, not just for the people, the disabled people, you know, the millions of disabled people, but also for their own jobs. And, you know, if there's anything that's going to make an MP think twice, it's going to be whether they're going to have a job tomorrow. Or next year, or, you know, in 3 or 4 years' time. So that's one of the ways you can actually get an MP to sit up and listen. So I'm hoping that they will sit up and listen. Thank you for this, indulging me with this little rant. But I wanted to talk about this video that was Diane Abbott's on there. Thank you for joining me. Please do subscribe. And also, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section about what you thought about her speech at that meeting. Let me know what you think about it. If you were there, let me know, and tell me how it went for you guys. And anyway, I'll see you later on.